The governor makes a new order to secure the border.
I'm using my executive authority as governor of Texas and activating the National Guard.
He calls it a question of safety, but the decision raises new questions, like how to pay for this deployment and what it means for Perry's political future.
Governor Perry says he is tired of waiting for the federal government to take action along the border.
So he's taking his own steps. The governor is sending up to 1,000 National Guard troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. And that will begin within the next 30 days. The troops will support the ongoing state-funded DPS surge. Governor Perry says the goal is to keep Texans safe.
Since 2008, more than 203,000 criminal aliens have been booked into Texas county jails. Over the course of their criminal careers, these individuals have committed more than 640,000 crimes. And that is in the state of Texas alone.
KXAN's Kevin Schwaller was at the state capitol for the announcement this afternoon. He found the decision is drawing fire and praise.
Good evening. We got some immediate reaction to the announcement today. Some of the state's top leaders and supporters of this plan were in the room behind me where Governor Perry made the announcement. Still, not everyone is a supporter of the idea.
This is more than a border crisis limited to a few states. This is a national crisis affecting communities and taxpayers across the country.
Attorney General Greg Abbott voiced his support. Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst also said he's mad, and so are Texans. He believes we should have seen action from Washington before this. On the other side, opponents are characterizing this as a militaristic response. The Texas Democratic Party is criticizing the activation of the National Guard in favor of its own ideas.
What we should do is listen to local sheriffs, work with them, and get the resources that they need. But the reality is these are all short-term solutions and short-term political solutions. What we really need is the long-term fixes.
Backers of the activation want Washington to pick up the bill. Now the question is, will lawmakers in D.C. do so? Reporting from the state capitol, Kevin Schwaller, KXAN News.
Of course, Attorney General Greg Abbott is also running for governor. His Democratic opponent, Wendy Davis, weighing in on the issue today. She's calling for Governor Perry to call an emergency special session of the legislature. Davis also wants to see more deputy sheriffs on the border and not the National Guard.
This recent surge of illegal immigration is coming largely from countries other than Mexico. Men, women, and children often hop freight trains in Honduras, El Salvador, or Guatemala. That trip is more than 1,000 miles, and the journey is not easy, and it can cost a lot of money.
Smugglers charging up to $10,000 to get a person across the U.S.-Mexico border. Some of that money pays for protection against criminal gangs, and some pay to bribes to police and other officials. We took a closer look at the cost smugglers pay, and we broke it down for you. You can find a link right now at the front page at KXAN.com.
These migrants often end up crossing into the Rio Grande Valley of Texas. It is their most direct route into the United States. It has brought a surge of arrests, too. Last fiscal year, Border Patrol apprehended more than 154,000 people in the Rio Grande Valley, nearly 2/3 of them from places other than Mexico. And they have already passed that number this year.
Digging deeper, we found an imbalance in where the U.S. Border Patrol assigns their agents. The Rio Grande Valley is just under 3,100 agents, but agents there have made more than 194,000 arrests between October and June. The Border Patrol's Tucson sector in Arizona has the most agents, but they have made far fewer arrests this year. Even before the surge began last fall, the number of illegal immigrants in Texas was high. Take a look at this. The Pew Research Center says 1.7 million were living in Texas in 2012. That is about twice the size of Austin's entire population.